Hi, this is Ollie Brunton, and today I'm just going to offer some setup tips and a suggestion maybe for your FG board setup from Armstrong foils. I use the same technique whether it's for my wing foil board or my prone surfboards. This is a general starting guide. It's not definitive, but just what works for me as a good starting point. So first I get the board and I place it on top of my bag just so that I'm not going to damage or ding the board, because what I want to do is work out where I'm going to put my feet. Obviously everyone's foot sizes are different, and so I find it just practical standing on the board to find out where your feet feel the most comfort inside the contours of the FG boards. And this is really quite a realistic way for me to start, so I kind of work out where I think I'm going to have my stance, try and line up the holes with the foot pads, and it gives me a good place to start, especially with the back foot. So I can make reference to the rails and kind of work out, okay, here is where the mast is going to go. There's some general guidelines some people follow depending on what type of wings you're using, like whether it's the HA or the HS. But once you work out where your foot works best, then you can apply foot straps if you want. But you can see here, just working out fit more so than mast placement as being the key datum where I would start my setup. So again, repeat the process for the front foot, just where your foot feels comfortable, and then throw in the straps where you see fit. Obviously there's an ideal way of putting the straps on. You want to get some placement and tighten them down, and then the internal webbing strap inside the EVA needs to be compressed by the washer into the board. So placement is first, and then to finish up you definitely want to make sure it's nice and tight. Next up we're going to place the mast, and this can be done in a couple of ways. Generally, you can use the type of front wing to determine where your mast can go relative to your back foot. For the HA, I tend to stand over the mast, or with the high-speed wings, I tend to stand behind the mast. But what I'm going to do here is find a midpoint on the front wing and lift the board up. If the board is level, I generally have the mast in the right position as far as just the balanced weight of the board over the fulcrum of the midpoint of that front wing. So again, most of the leverage of foiling is done over the midpoint of the front wing. And so adjusting the mast position, lifting and finding whether the board is level can give a really basic general placement for balance. So if that's where you balance the board, then before the rider adds his mass to the equation, we can assume that there is a balanced setup with the board and mast as a datum, as a place to start, because from there you are going to go out and ride and find that you might want to adjust, or you might want to elicit a different sensation with the balance of the board. And that's what the FG is great for. It gives you the options to tailor the setup and generate a small board feel if that's what you desire. But what I provided here is just a general datum, a general guideline for a possible place for you to start your experimentation with the FG board setups. Have fun. Good luck out there.